In the headlines, Atiku Tinubu kick as former President Olusegun Obasanjo endorses Obi. Family of slain Katsina NSCDC operative demand justice. Police rescue 3 kidnapped victims in Delta. And on the foreign scene, Libyan authorities find mass grave in ex-ISIL stronghold. Hello and welcome to News Update on Trust TV. I am Sagir Ibrahim. Hello and welcome once again. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, Bola Tinubu, and the opposition People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, on Sunday kicked against former President Olusegun Obasanjo for declaring support for Labour Party's presidential candidate, Peter Obi. In a special New Year message released to newsmen Sunday afternoon, the former president said, though none of the contestants is a saint, when compared in terms of knowledge, discipline, and what they can offer, Obi has an edge over others. He therefore called on youth to rally round the LP candidate. However, in a swift reaction, the APC candidate described the endorsement as worthless that would not pose threat to his ambition, while the PDP on its part said it was not looking for the endorsement of any individual. Tinubu, in a statement by the Director of Media and Publicity of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, Bayo Ononuga, described the endorsement as worthless, which will not make him lose sleep. He said the former president does not possess any political goodwill or leverage anywhere in Nigeria to make anyone win an election. However, in its reaction, the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, said it is only concerned about the endorsement of the Nigerian people and not that of an individual, no matter how important the person is. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Debo Ologunagba, told Daily Trust on phone that Nigerians have endorsed PDP and Atiku Abubakar, saying that the endorsement of a single individual does not bother the party. Also, the Conference of Nigeria Political Parties has said that President Muhammadu Buhari has renewed hope for free, fair, and credible elections this year, with his recent warning to security agencies to maintain a high sense of professionalism and desist from behavior that would bring disrepute. Secretary General of CNPP, Chief Willie Ezugu, said on Sunday in a statement that Buhari's New Year's message urging Nigerians to resist attempts by politicians to disrupt the 2023 general elections was also a welcome development. Ezugu, in his New Year's message, said that a successful transition to a new administration would only be possible if all stakeholders work together to ensure a credible general elections. He said the dream of a smooth transition to the next administration on May 29, 2023 would be a mirage without the neutrality of all security agencies and the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Also, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has urged the people of the state not to vote for any party or candidate who do not mean well for the state and its development in the 2023 elections. The governor said that Rivers people must vote wisely for the party and candidates that love the state and are ready to advance and defend its interests. Governor Wike, who stated these in his 2023 New Year broadcast in Port Harcourt, said voters in the state must shun those candidates who would fail the state and neglect its aspirations. He declared that governing Rivers State had been a mixed bag of challenges, excitement, and fulfillment since 2015. The governor thanked God and the good people of Rivers State for their immeasurable support on his government from the beginning. Take a look.
Our commitment to more project delivery and better the laws of our people is still strong. We must vote wisely and only for a party and candidates that love Rivers State and are ready to advance and defend its interests, not those candidates who would fail the state and neglect our aspirations for development. It is not in our character to interfere with or limit the constitutional rights of politicians and their parties to hold electionary campaigns and canvass for votes across the length and breadth of the state. But we must be reminded that the laws and regulations Restricting open political activities in public schools and residential areas are being implemented to prevent the destructive tendencies and public nuisance usually associated with such events when things go wrong. Going around the state, we can see several private and public investment projects in Port Harcourt and other places indicative of the healthy state of the economy, investors increasing confidence on the economic benefits derived from the modern infrastructures we have provided, which has no equal across the country. Finally, as we usher in and celebrate the new year 2023 with utmost optimism, let us remain vigilant and continue putting Rivers State and our lives in God's safe and caring hands. I wish everyone a happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year.
That was Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. To security now, as the new year rolls in, the Adamawa State Police Command has recounted its challenges, successes and expectations. The command says it rounded off the previous year with over 909 arrests, but attributes the success to the support of other local security outfits and community leaders. Trust TV's Salis Lawan takes a look at the relationship between government, police, unconventional security groups and the community leaders in this report. Take a look.
For many Nigerians, 2022 was a year filled with challenges of insecurity in almost all parts of the country, economic constraint and unemployment. But for the Nigeria Police Force Adamawa Command, the 2022 was a successful one, except for the rate of moral decadence, which the command says has increased the level of drug abuse among the youth.
The year 2022 was a very marvelous. The command recorded last month over 909 suspects were apprehended for committing one offense and the other. And this thing all followed as a result of government being very, very supportive to the security agencies, particularly the police.
I'm getting cooperation as I want from them. No challenge between me and any security agencies in Adamawa State. I'm working with them. It's not less than 40,000 vigilantes in Adamawa State. Because each local government, we have vigilante 1,000, 1,005, 800 like that, all over 21 local governments.
We used to have a mutual understanding and we are living in harmony. And then of recent, issues begin to spring up. And things cannot happen like that. There could be other hidden issues we don't understand. And then we cannot continue like this.
The state's government support in the security management of Adamawa is described by stakeholders as satisfactory.
Recently, the command equally organized what we call one-day conference and retreat for senior police officers and electoral officers. And the governor keyed into these initiatives. He came down to the retreat. He joined the commissioner of police. In short, he even became one of the resource personnel. He preaches peace and supported the commands in the fight against crimes.
Despite the seeming success of 2022, stakeholders are stressing the need for more harmonious relations between the government, community, and religious leaders for proper security management. From Yola, Salis Lawan, Trust TV News.
The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has constituted a 9-member ad hoc committee to probe the murder of female lawyer Mrs. Omobolanle Rahim and Gafaru Buraimo, killed by police officers in Lagos. A statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Akurede Habib Lawal, said the association is committed to the pursuit of justice in the case to ensure no other Nigerian loses his or her life in an unjust manner that Rahim's life was taken. NBA said since Buraimo's passage, the police authorities have refused to disclose the identity of the killer, demanding immediate disclosure. Consequently, NBA President Yakubu Maikyau, SAN, has established an open communication with police authorities over the incident. Also, the family of Sanusi Bawa, an operative of Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Katsina State, suspected to have been killed by his friend, is demanding justice. His widow, Rabi Sanusi, said since the killing of their breadwinner, life has not been the same. The young children he left behind have been out of school since the events which led to the death of their father. Abdullahi Yamadi completes the report.
The family of the slain NSCDC officer said they are emotionally disturbed, exhausted and malnourished since the death of their breadwinner. Though they said they have submitted everything to God, they however want relevant authorities to ensure justice is served to whoever is found guilty of Rawayo's killing.
One thing I want everyone to understand is that it's not easy for a family to lose a breadwinner, especially at this critical time of economic hardship. Though the NSCDC commandant in Katsina has been supportive, and we appreciate him for being here for us, but we need nothing but justice to my slain husband.
The family, however, acknowledged the support and assistance of the state headquarters of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps for contributing towards the upkeep of the family. Police authorities in Katsina State also gave assurances that the matter has been investigated and that the principal suspect was charged to court.
An investigation started. He confessed. He said, actually, this is what happened. He was the one that poisoned this man, killed him, deposited his dead body inside a wall in a particular house. He led police team to the place. Okay. Our detectives went. The body was recovered inside that wall. The vehicle also it was recovered in the garage from his possession. Yes. Right now, he's in prison.
Human rights activists and other civil society organizations said they are monitoring events closely with a view to ensuring justice is served. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
The Delta State Police Command has rescued 3 kidnapped victims and recovered 1 locally made gun from suspected kidnappers in a Delta community. The information was contained in a statement signed by the State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Bright Edafe. According to the statement, the police operatives attached to the Orerokwe Division who were on visibility patrol duty along Wari Sapele Road by Okuvo and Egberede communities cited some persons being dragged into the bush. The operatives suspected that the victims may have been kidnapped and therefore trailed the suspected kidnappers into the bush. The hoodlums opened fire on the police team, which quickly responded, after which they abandoned the victims and escaped. A member of Media Trust's Board of Directors, Aminu Dangana, has been turbaned as Matawalin Tudunwada. Dangana is among over 20 people in Tudunwada district of Nasarawa local government area of Kano State who was given various traditional titles for his contributions to the community's well-being. Trust TV's correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the turbaning ceremony was held at the palace of the Tudunwada village head. Take a look at this report.
These elder statesmen are among the respected elders of Tudunwada district in Kano. Their contributions to societal development is now even more challenging as they receive various traditional titles to further strengthen their commitment toward the development of their people. Malam Aminu Dangana is a member of the Media Trust Board of Directors, whose wonderful vision, sterling qualities, and excellent contributions to societal development now saw him as the first Matawallan Tudunwada, a traditional title he hopes will challenge him to do much more to his immediate community and the state in general.
We have been working elsewhere. We've been contributing our quota to so many communities, but it's felt that since we are back home now, we should come closer to our people so that we know their problems and we can maybe organize things to help them in uplifting their lives.
Well, we are going to do our best to improve the situation in the town, to advise the district head. It is an opportunity given to us to move closer to the society. And I believe wholeheartedly, between myself, my God, and my consciousness, that we will continue to be identified with the yearning and aspiration of the people.
For me, it's a recognition from the community that one was brought into this life with. At least it's a recognition of the fact that you have been part and parcel of the community.
For the family and friends of Aminu Dangana in Tudun Wada district, it's celebration time.
We are grateful to God for this position that Allah has given our husband, our father, their brother, uncle, and everyone else.
It's one of my happiest days in my life, because our husband become Matawallan Tudun Wada.
Over the years, yes, people are being recognized. They have been recognized for their various contributions. But I think this is the first time that it is being done on a very large scale. So even the younger generations are beginning to see how the community works.
It shows that the community has appreciated what he has done over the years for them, and it's a well-deserved recognition, and we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to help him.
For the people of Tudun Wada, the turbaning ceremony and the new traditional title holders are a welcome development that will ensure more unity and peaceful coexistence among the people, regardless of their differences. Idris Jibrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
You're watching News Update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break. How inter-ethnic marriages can help foster unity. Stay with us.
The FCT administration has observed an increase in the influx of street beggars into the city and metropolis. When you give alms directly to street beggars, you encourage this unwholesome practice with its attendant risks to all. Remember, street begging remains banned in the FCT. Residents are encouraged to channel their alms through recognized channels as the churches, mosques, and orphanages. A better approach which still guarantees the reward of your kind gesture, as neither Islam nor Christianity encourages begging. This way, we can rid the city of this menace. To keep Abuja safe is our collective responsibility. Play your part. This message is from the FCT administration.
Now, as part of efforts to support Africa's goal of strengthening...
Now, looking at the activity chart, as you can see right here, a total volume of 130...
Created a Boko Haram crisis that at that time was restricted to Yobe.
How secure are they? You can see security men with blood.
This is the road leading up to the...
Really, if you look at English squad, you are looking at EPL, you are looking at their names. You are not looking at...
That's great.
If you're just joining, this is News Update on Trust TV. Now a recap of our top stories. Atiku Tinubu kick as former President Olusegun Obasanjo endorses Obi. And family of slain Katsina NSCDC operative demands justice. Moving on to other stories, the Arewa Consultative Forum, ACF, has described the late leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Professor George Obiozo, as a reconciliator whose exemplary leadership will be missed. The ACF, in a statement issued on Sunday by its chairman, Audu Ogbe, said departing at this moment when various groups and tendencies are reaching out to one another for national cohesion will no doubt impact on the project Nigeria. According to him, the demise of Obiozo George Achulike, the leader of Ohaneze Ndigbo, is indeed a great loss, especially at this time when his exemplary leadership is in great need. He noted that late Professor George Obiozo made a mark in diplomacy and scholarship, having served in the United Nations and part of the think tank of the Obasanjo administration. His domestic and global roles no doubt placed him in a position to lead the Igbo main socio-cultural group, the Ohaneze Ndigbo. Nigeria is a heterogeneous country which plays host to over 371 ethnic groups. Culture, tradition, and misconstrued oral history often prevents the different groups from intermarrying. There are those that have, however, defied cultural norms and who believe that if interethnic marriages are more widely practiced in the country, conflicts and biases will be reduced. Ado Musa takes a look at how a couple of different ethnic backgrounds got married in Jos. Take a look.
Nafiu Hamisu is a resident of Lainzana community of Josno local government area of the state and of a Hausa parentage who got married to Mansura Abdulaziz from Yoruba ethnic stock. The couple have been living peacefully for the past 7 years, despite their cultural differences. However, the beginning of the journey was very difficult, especially during the courtship. The husband says it took a long time for his parents and his wife's folk to accept their marriage.
The challenges of differences of tribes. Maybe the challenges arises from the both families. For instance, my family, they don't want me to married a different tribe of different ethnic groups because of different sharing of cultures. Likewise, from her own part, there was a little challenges.
The question often asked is how the couple have been able to overcome the challenges of cultural differences.
There is no much differences. All what we is just we understanding ourselves and tolerating one another. Because sometimes you have to let her practice her own culture, and at the same time you choose to a certain level you also do your own culture, and maybe in terms of some occasions like occasions periods, so both the two cultures we combine them together.
The wife, who says the marriage have been peaceful, believes that inter-ethnic marriages can unite the country.
Marrying you, it gives you the room to understand both each other. Islam does not reject that, so why are we to reject it? And it's a form of unity.
In contrast, a just legal practitioner asserts that unless ethno-religious differences were de-emphasized, inter-ethnic marriages will not strengthen national unity.
There's a need for a general reorientation among Nigerians to understand that this country belongs to all of us. And there's a need to de-emphasize tribalism in whatever we are doing in this country, or regionalism.
Although some groups are still resistant to inter-ethnic marriages due to cultural differences, there are those who argue that understanding between couples should be the first priority before cultural values. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Away from that, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency has predicted dust haze weather conditions from Monday to Wednesday across the country. NIMET's weather outlook released on Sunday in Abuja predicted thick dust haze with horizontal visibility of less or equal to 1,000 meters over the northern region during the forecast period on Monday. According to NIMET, moderate dust haze with horizontal visibility range of 2 kilometers to 5 kilometers is expected over the north-central region with prospects of horizontal visibility of less than or equal to 1,000 meters over parts of Niger within the forecast period. The agency predicted thick dust haze on Tuesday with horizontal visibility of less or equal to 1,000 meters over the northern region during the forecast period. It forecasted moderate dust haze over the north-central region with prospect of reduced horizontal visibility to 1,000 meters or less over parts of Niger, Benue, Kwara, and the Federal Capital Territory. And on the international scene, Libyan authorities said they have discovered 18 bodies buried in a mass grave in the coastal city of Sirte, a former stronghold of the ISIL armed group in central Libya. The missing person authorities said in a statement on Sunday that the bodies were unburied in the Sabaa area of Sirte and were taken to a local hospital. It added that workers collected samples of the discovered bones to identify the bodies. Further details on the cause of death was not provided. Mass graves have been found across Libya over the years amid the country's instability. In October, officials said they found 42 bodies in a mass grave at a school site in Sirte. ISIL had seized control of the strategic city of Sirte in 2015, taking advantage of the conflict between various factions of former rebels who emerged as power brokers following a NATO-backed uprising and the killing of Libya's former leader, Muammar Gaddafi, in 2011. And in sports, French league leaders Paris Saint-Germain crumbled under pressure to lose 3-1 at Lens for its first defeat of the season, as second-place Lens cut the gap to 4 points and maintained its perfect home record. PSG's weakness against the counter-attack was ruthlessly exposed by Lens. The northern side scored at the start of each half and dominated the midfield battle against a rattled PSG to make it 9 straight home victories for coach Frank Heiser's side. Lens has the league's best defense with 11 goals allowed in 17 matches compared to 13 for PSG. With that, we've come to the end of News Update on Trust TV. Do well to follow us across all our media platforms. I'm Sagir Ibrahim. Thank you for watching.